Welcome back to Six Survival Diaries. As you all know, it's Velvet. And this episode will be referred to as He Said He Was Single, Then I Met His Real Life. Have you ever met somebody and thought, yeah, this one feels different? Not perfect, not some fantasy, just different enough that you ignore your instincts. That was me. And this is one of those stories where, looking back, I should have left early, but I didn't. Because sometimes you don't ignore red flags. You convince yourself they're just flags in a different lighting. So I met this guy. We'll call him Jay. Jay wasn't flashy. He wasn't the loud type. He wasn't trying to impress everybody in the room. He had that calm energy that makes you think, okay, this one is stable. And at the time, stability felt like luxury because I'd been through enough chaos to confuse intensity with connection. So when Jay came around, it felt easy, too easy, but I didn't question that part enough. We started talking, then seeing each other. Nothing rushed in the beginning. No big declarations, no pressure, just consistent communication. And that's what got me. Consistency. Because in my life at that time, consistency was rare. He'd call, he'd show up, he'd check in, he'd make plans, and actually follow through. And I'm not gonna lie, that alone can hook you when you've dealt with people who treat you like an option. But there was one thing he told me early on that I should have paid way more attention to. He told me he was single. No complications, no drama, no situationship, just him. And I believed him. Because when you want to believe somebody, you don't interrogate every detail. You accept the story and fill in the gaps with hope. So we kept going. We talked every day. We saw each other regularly. And slowly, I started letting my guard down. For once, I wasn't expecting chaos. And that's usually when chaos shows up. Not when you're prepared for it, when you're relaxed. The first weird moment was small. He'd disappear at certain times of the day. Not long enough to be obvious, just enough to be noticeable if you were paying attention. Then he'd come back like nothing happened. And I did what a lot of people do. I explained it away. Busy, work, life, all the usual excuses people use when they don't want to face the truth yet. Then one day, something shifted. I tried calling him, no answer. Text, no response. Hours passed, then a day. And when he finally replied, he acted like everything was completely normal. But this time, something in me didn't let it go as easily. So I started paying attention. And that's when the cracks started showing. Different phone behavior. Names popping up that didn't match his stories. Small contradictions. Nothing you could accuse somebody over, but enough to make you uncomfortable in your own gut. And here's the thing about intuition. It doesn't shout. It whispers. And I was starting to hear it. But I still didn't have proof until I saw him in public. Not planned, not dramatic. Just one of those moments where life lines people up at the wrong time. And he wasn't alone. He was with someone else, a woman. And the energy between them, very comfortable. The kind of comfortable that doesn't need an explanation. I didn't walk up. I didn't cause a scene. I just stood there long enough to understand what I was looking at. And in that moment, everything he told me got refiled in my head. Single, nothing going on, no complications. Yeah, okay. So now I'm dealing with that silent feeling you get when reality finally catches up to you. Not heartbreak, not anger, at least not yet. Just that slow realization, oh, I was not the only story. And the worst part? It wasn't even about the other woman. It was about me believing I was in something real while only being given part of the truth. So I didn't confront him right away. I went quiet. And people always think silence means weakness. It doesn't. Sometimes silence is just you collecting evidence from your own life. And eventually, I did bring it up. Not screaming, not emotional, just direct. I asked him what was going on. And that's when the story changed. Because he didn't fully deny it. He didn't fully admit it either. He did that thing people do when they try to keep two versions of reality alive at the same time. Minimize, deflect, reframe. It's not like that. You don't understand. It's complicated. That word, complicated. People love that word when they don't want to take accountability. Because complicated always seems to mean I didn't think I'd get caught. After that conversation, something switched in me. Because I realized I wasn't dealing with confusion anymore. I was dealing with intention. And there's a difference. Confusion is messy. Intention is a choice. And I wasn't somebody he was confused about. I was just somebody he thought wouldn't notice. That part stayed with me more than anything else. Not the lying, not even the situation, the assumption. So I ended it, not dramatically, not with some huge speech, just done. Because at some point, you realize you don't need a courtroom level amount of proof to leave a situation that already feels wrong. And here's the part that stuck with me the most afterward. It wasn't that he had another life. It's that I was never actually included in the version of his life he was building. I was just passing through it. And the lesson I took from that situation is something I still carry now. People will always show you what they think you'll accept. Not what they think is right, what they think you'll tolerate. And if you stay long enough in situations where you're not being fully seen, you start lowering the standard just to keep the connection. So now when I think back on it, I don't think about him as some villain. I think about the version of me that accepted half-truths because I wanted something to be real. And I respect her, but I don't miss that pattern. Because the hardest truth in relationships isn't that people lie. It's that sometimes you ignore what you already know because you like the story you're being told. And once you see that clearly, you stop settling for missing pieces of people. You either get the full truth or you leave the rest behind. And if you've got a story you'd like to share, you can always send it to the email in the description. Names, details, and identities can always be changed to keep everything completely anonymous. Because sometimes the stories you carry silently are the ones people need to hear the most. Please make sure to like and subscribe so you can stay connected for all future stories. With the next episode, My Best Friend Stole My Girl, Then I Learned the Truth, releasing August 15th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Real stories, real survival, real people.